Very big welcome to you, my dear Scorpio. The sun now in Libra is giving the light to the moon, which is in your sign, and we're going to the left, and the 11th major arcana, and you having the 13th major arcana. We are placing the card here, and we see that we going to your new moon. This is your last reading right before the new moon. In the next reading you have then sun and new moon both in your sign. So here the 11 and the 13, we leave the 11 because it's a portal, and the 13 becomes a 4, and the 4 is then the Emperor that comes out of the Wheel of Fortune and the Empress. Together we are then the personality that can create the next project, right? And so that's what this combination brings. Then we have a date, the 4th of November or the 11th of April. Observe and watch. Now, Libra is ruled by Venus. That's love and beauty, and that's the 3, the Empress, right? Just that you know. Sun in Libra means that we understand clearly that now our focus to the outer world, that ray of light that we give to the people, comes from an equilibrium deep within us. You are ruled by Pluto. Pluto in the tarot is the last judgment, and here it's called the Aeon. And the last judgment is that moment where you getting a wake-up call, and that's what Pluto does. He's the mystic, he is the shadow side, and so we need to look at that, right? And we will look at that. The moon, the subconscious, and you learning to understand what that means is that you are listening to your feelings, and in that you are becoming aware of how you understand the combination here today, and that you are learning again and again through each zodiac sign that the sun goes through, that we can understand each other. And also the moon that goes through each zodiac sign, right? We can feel from deep within what the other one is going through. And so that's why I use the day of moon in Scorpio to give you the reading, so I can feel you. But I also include the sun, right? The sun is always that moment that we recognize it's the peak of where do we want to evolve ourselves into. And of course the moon here, the unicorn, is how deep can we believe in the mystical side of our life. The yoga position for Libra is Malasana, standing here on the tiptoes. And you see that she's holding herself in front of her heart in the equilibrium, the sword pointing at her. And for you, here we have Scorpio pose, bringing the feet above our head so that we understand the tail of the Scorpio and understand that the transformation is coming from within, coming from you. So this just sun and moon today, right, in these 2 signs influencing you. And we also look, of course, at the court card, and that's Odin. And Odin is the mystic. Odin is hanging here on the tree of life and pointing at the rune alphabet. And he is really a big mystic, and as such we will see what he has to say to you. If your birthday is between October 13 and November 12, then is he your court card. If your birthday is before or after, you might want to look into the reading before or after for the court card. Scorpio is the mystic. Always remember, Scorpio is the one that gives itself with the tail that knowledge. And you are the 8th zodiac sign, and as such connected with the 8th house of transformation and secrets. And here we see the hand that has here, of course, the deeper meaning of I know that my hands can heal. And so in a way, you also are a healer. Back to the last reading where we had Virgo Sun giving Scorpio Moon the light. The golden key of life brings awareness to the observer in you. So just remember that we want to have a look if there is a reoccurring card that is wanting to talk to you. And it takes me always a little moment to see what's talking here and if there is something that is coming back. Sometimes I don't see it right away because the Virgo deck is Salvador Dali and now Libra's deck is the Golden Dawn. Right? Each of the major arcana has their own deck, and so I pick the cards. So I think you have cleared everything. You have understood something. And as such, we're gonna look now at the reading. Actually, you do have one. It's really funny. Sometimes it just takes a moment for me to see it, and now I just saw it. So you do have one reoccurring card, and I will show you that when we get to it. So we're gonna look at Oda, your court card. We're gonna look at your card, Death, right? Your soul aspect. And we're gonna look at the last judgment, at Pluto. And as such, we're gonna begin the reading. So the court card, we get the 3 of Wands. And that's Sun in Aries. And the 3 of Wands is that moment that is connected with the Empress. And the Empress is here in the 13. And you understand that something is coming to you. You're pointing with your finger down at the 3 of Wands. And you know the 8 and the 3 is an 11. And the 11 is a portal. The 11 comes here through Libra, right? And that's 2 times the 1. You're learning to understand that duality is important. And in duality can also be a connection to a higher consciousness. And Sun in Aries is like you taking action to such an extent that you are creating something new and it's coming to you now, right? And so I wanted to see what the Mother Peace Tarot is bringing, and these cards are round and I love them as a clarification. The 6 of Wands, which is Jupiter in Leo. And Jupiter in Leo is saying, oh, here you are. She's pointing to the left. Remember, to the left, the soul, and to the right, the human aspect, or full moon, new moon, right? And so 3 wands and 6 wands, that's 9 wands. And 9 wands is like letting you know, don't do too much. Yes, 3 wands in itself is great. 6 wands in itself is great, right? So here, Sun in Aries, and of course, Jupiter in Leo, we get that you want to create something. Now here we had the 8 and the 3, the 11. And so the 6 is here, but now because there are 2 wands cards, I calculate the 6 and the 3 together and I get the 9 and the 8 is the 17. Now the 17 is important for you because that's Aquarius. And Aquarius is playing a major role because Pluto, the planet of mystic and shadows, is going into Aquarius for 20 years on the 19th of November. And so I think the 17 is letting you know you will feel Aquarius. You will feel that you want to take care of things, and you will see that your life changes because out of the 17 we get then the 8 again. So you're left. So all that doing will benefit you. And remember, he was hanging 9 days on the tree of life, 9 wands, right? And so there is a sign coming to you very clearly that you have to understand that you are going to really take action from November on. Then we look at the Death card. And death is the transformation when there is not a negative card around. And so here you have a transformation sparked by Parzival, and he's the Son of Cups, and that's of course the Knight of Cups. That's a Pisces. So this is the 12th zodiac sign, and you're the 13, and the 12 is connected with the Hanged Man, which is Neptune, and Neptune rules Pisces. So there is something that comes at you as this knight energy, and you're the king, right? And so you're learning to see the 4 and the 3 when we calculate the 13 and the 12. Together we get then the 4, the Emperor, and the 3, the Empress, and together the 7, the emotional intelligence, which is Cancer, the success, the emotional success that you feel is important, because in that you're learning the most, and in that you arrive at learning that love is a path. Love is when we let go completely, and then we transform and we come into the emotional intelligence that is letting us know you have just learned something. Then I wanted to see what is the Libra deck bringing, and you get the 9 of Pentacles, right? And so Libra is saying, well, watch what's happening, because this is a date, right? The 11th of September or the 9th of November. And that's already close to the date where Pluto is going to be completely for 20 years in Aquarius. And it's different than now Pluto being in Capricorn. Capricorn is the money. And the money here, Venus in Virgo, is letting you know you are learning something, how to come into a completion with making decisions with money out of love. So we have here the 3 out of the 12 and the 9. That's the 12 again. The transformation, Neptune, the Hanged Man, something with money that you are learning and understanding more clear. And of course the 3 is left, and the 7 comes again to you, the emotional intelligence to know what to do with this amount of money. Now Venus in Virgo is kind of saying you are alone, you're not in a relationship. So that could be true or not, just feel that. What is the Mother Piece Tarot bringing? It's the 2 of Pentacles upright, and this is Jupiter in Capricorn. And so 9 Pentacles and 2 Pentacles is 11 Pentacles, right? And that's the date. Here the 4 and the 3 is the 7. The 7th of November or the 11th of July. Always see when I put a date out, right, if that resonates in you or not. So here you understand that the 11 is again talking. The 11 of here Libra, the 11th major arcana. And we had the 11 here with the 3 of Wands. The 8 and the 3 of Wands was the 11. And you understand the 11 as a portal. I have listed all the double-digit numbers down in my description, also the cards that I'm using, so you can understand what these portals mean. And the 2 of Pentacles, like I said, this is connected with Jupiter in Capricorn. It's almost like saying, yes, right now Pluto in Capricorn is bringing you one more time an understanding how money is handled in Capricorn, but it will be handled different in Aquarius because it's an air sign and Capricorn is an earth sign. And so you understand that there is a very strong message in how you working and how you realizing how you love what you're doing and how you go into this transformation, the 11, and of course here the 7, right? Or the 7-11, 11-7. See how that speaks to you, see how that resonates with you, and observe, right, how that makes you feel. But I want to see what is Pisces wanting to tell you, and we get the 6 of Swords, which is Mercury in Aquarius. And here in Osho Zentaro, it's the burden. And you see that he's pointing at Pisces, and it's pointing to the left, and it's saying, hey, you gotta understand what's happening here, right? Because Mercury in Aquarius is bringing you already the information that you need to take care of your money. Now, of course, I can also place the card rather here, and you see now that Pisces is almost saying, have a look at the money, have a look at what's going on here. Because you have 9 pentacles and now 2 more, it's kind of like the juggling with the money, right? Jupiter with the Capricorn, it's kind of like you working on the money, but you have money. So be vigilant, observe, know that here a Pisces is helping you to understand how Mercury in Aquarius is functioning, how that is going to affect you, how that is going to affect your money in the banks, and money, of course, in the crypto, because that's what Aquarius brought to us, right? And so you understand more and more that Pluto is letting you know through a Pisces what's happening here with these 11 coins. So just watch, observe, and understand always very clearly how everything is talking. Then we look at the Aeon, at, of course, Pluto, right? And Pluto is bringing you here through the Lifruma deck the number 40, the Wyrdheimr, the weirdness, the all rune. And it's really interesting because this is the 20th major arcana, and here we have the 40, so that's 60. The 6 is self-love. Love your weirdness. Love this space in you that is crazy enough to do something other people would never do, because you are already challenged enough through Pluto in your life, right? And so here comes the answer. And I'm just going to read to you what this card is saying. Mystical all rune, binding all tunes, singing all songs, righting all wrongs, Wyrdheimr, the dark, deep-rooted realm of the Norns, where they bind and weave all around us. The vibration underscoring everything weird is here. Weird is love, endless, seamless, slow-flowing possibilities rooted in nutritious love, supporting all, both seen and unseen. Unpick the threads where you cannot sense the loving stitches. What weird magic will you weave now? And this is the rune alphabet, and you are the one that created the rune alphabet as Oda, right? And so this is very suitable for Pluto, right? And the Lifruma Oracle card is really mystical. I love these cards, right? And so here comes the understanding that you learn that Pluto is letting you know a new time is coming where you can be completely yourself, and that love is supported by a Pisces, right? He's the one that's saying, yes, you can be weird, because he is pointing at this. It's almost like he's saying, yes, here you are, there you are, you're the Wyrdheimr, you are the crazy one. So just accept it, right? Learn about yourself. It's not a burden. It's actually something that you now need to integrate into your life and start loving it. And so the 6 comes, self-love, right? The 6 and the 0, of course, the Fool, right? Be foolish enough to be weird, and don't worry what people think about it. Then comes here, through Hermann Handel's tarot, the 9 of Wands, and you had 9 wands, right here at the beginning, the 3 of wands and the 6 of wands. So now you have 9 wands, and that's 18 wands. In your subconscious, you feel like you gotta do a lot, but I don't think you gotta do a lot. I think you just gotta do it wisely. You gotta do it in such a way that you're learning, I can be here the victorious personality, right? Jupiter in Leo, and I can also be here through Aries, Sun in Aries, the one that creates new endeavors, right? And you are just seeing then the 9 of wands, and that's moon in Sagittarius. So use this Sagittarius energy, right, to understand that even though you're doing a lot, so you have 18 wands, it's kind of connected with the moon, right? And the moon is in your sign right now. And that's where the unicorn comes in, the dream world, a world where you can really create whatever it is that you want to create. And so the 60 and the 9 is kind of the 6, and the 9 is the 15, right? And the 15 is the Capricorn energy, and Pluto is in Capricorn until the 19th of November. So watch what's happening here, right? The 15 then is letting you know there are the 5 senses, and the third eye, the 6th sense, helps you to overcome the 5 senses, and then the 6 appears, and then the self-love appears again, because the number 9 is beautiful in itself. It gives itself up. When I calculate things together, the 9, I can literally leave it, and I have the 6 here again. But I like to understand where it's going, where it's heading when the 9 comes in. It brings you to the 15. That's Capricorn. That's the devil, right, in the tarot. But the devil, it doesn't exist. It's you being attached. It's you being cut off from source, and you need to learn that you can free yourself, liberate yourself. Then what is the Mother Piece Tarot bringing? The Priestess of Wands, and that's the card that came last time up as well. And so the Priestess of Wands is Aries. You have the 3 of Wands, which is Sun in Aries. And so there is an Aries helping you to take action, right? And so, of course, the 6 and the 1 is the 7. She's the first zodiac sign. And the 7, the emotional intelligence, again, Cancer here, is helping you to understand that if I do something weird, right? If I work to the point where I'm like, you know, getting tired and also like worn out, that's the completion, right? In the wands, you are then doing it with love. Do it with the emotional intelligence that this is something that you want to do because she is powerful. She is leading you to success. She holds here this lion cup next to her, and she's like, I'm creating rainbows. I'm creating things that most people are not even dare to think about. And so the Wyrdheimr has found its match, right? Then I want to see what is she saying, and she's saying here comes the 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups is Saturn in Pisces. Now Saturn in Pisces, right, Pisces was here through the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups told you, yes, certain things are going to be burdensome, right? They're going to like make you maybe think, okay, I don't know if I want to do this, but it's almost saying, well, you got to go from something that's good to something that's even better. Because he's sitting here, he has the 8 cups, but he's looking up at the moon, and there is a longing. There is something that he's saying, I want more. And so it's almost like maybe you got to leave here this Pisces person. Who knows, right? But just see that Saturn in Pisces is that moment where you're leaving something for something better. But it's not always a person. It's something that you are longing for, that you are searching for. And in that search, you have the strength to take care of that, right? And so we had the 7 here. The 7 and the 8 is again is the 15. and the 15 is Capricorn. And in there, don't get attached to something that's working, that's functioning. You can go out there and even find more of what you, as a natural evolutionary aspect in our human DNA, is there. We are always gonna evolve. We are always gonna look for something that is bringing us more of an understanding who we truly are. And so the 15 turns into the 6. And the 6 is in the end left. The 6, the self-love. You are realizing something very powerful here right before your new moon, where you are arriving really deep down at yourself, and you are learning now that here is an Aries, right? You are learning that here is a Pisces, and you are learning that there are energies that are talking very clearly, very precise, and that's Pluto bringing you the understanding that there is an Aries helping you to let go of something that seems good, but you longing for more. And that longing here, if I calculate these together, gets a 9, the completion, a 9-9 portal. The 9-9 portal we leave, or we can create also the 18. That's the moon. And the moon is bringing that out of you right now, the moon in your sign. And you are like, okay, I'm gonna go and find what I'm looking for. And then you are kind of newborn. And that's the call. That's the call from the last judgment. That's the call, right, from Pluto. And Pluto being in Capricorn, and Capricorn came twice up as a number, the 15, not as a card, but as a number. But remember, out of Capricorn, we get the 6, the self-love. So observe that, watch that, and let yourself be guided through that. So I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the sun and the new moon in your sign. It's going to be a very important reading. We're also going to look at the sun, right? Because the sun is in your sign. And we're also going to look at the moon. So we're going to have 5 stations and not 3. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.